Hey, Donald Miller here, Donald Miller's Electrical Services. We are in beautiful Villanova. Actually, it's like right on the Villanova-Bryn Mawr border. And it is day 2 of a knob and tube rewire. The homeowners moved out yesterday morning. Today is Tuesday. They were gracious enough to let us be in the house over the weekend to ram board it. So this is a 3,000 square foot house knob and tube rewire. The 100% grid of the knob and tube is 100% active. All right. So I wanted to walk it with you. All right. So this is the preliminary. I try to walk it with you before we start cutting. You can see the respirator. We had to get cutting today and I didn't have enough time to make a video. So I'm going to do a walkthrough and just let you know what it looks like. All right. Well, that's their rugs. Have to protect the rugs. Actually, we have to protect everything in the house. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. All right, so there's some lath. Wall sconces, so this is the main foyer. All right, you can see the ram board's already down. All right, here's a couple of rolls of plastic. This is typically what knob and tube looks like. So this is MC wire. Some people say technically that can be considered a ground and it's not knob and tube. This is knob and tube. All right. So we're gonna go into the library. That's a piano. The piano is covered with 3 layers of plastic. So we have a preliminary layer of plastic, a layer of ram board in the middle, another layer of plastic on top of that, and then the black plastic as the protection. All right, and you can see, now if you were living through this, we wouldn't be doing this style of rewire, but because no one's living here right now, we had to make a channel. So you can see the floor protection. The reason we're making a channel here is this is a cinder block foundation. It's a true cinder block foundation from about 1925. All right, and the lath and the plaster is actually on fairing strips. Now they're true 1x fairing strips, but they're still fairing strips. So we only have about 1 inch going up the foundation walls. So we can't really just fish them. We can't access them from the basement because the foundation is actually 24 inches in and blocked up. So they actually did do stone. They did stone as their primary foundation, then went to cinder block. All right, which is odd, but that's what they did. So we're not actually able to access the lower portion of the walls. Upstairs in the attic, they have a finished floor in the attic space, and then there's a cedar closet. That was typical for this area for the 1920s. So it makes it impossible for us to, from the attic, fish down to the second floor outlets. So what we're doing here is we're creating a channel. And with this channel, we're gonna be able to rewire the first floor outlets, switches, and we're gonna be able to rewire the second floor outlets and switches. Okay, so we're gonna have a channel here. Let's keep moving here. All right. So again, this is another room. This is our setup room. I'm not gonna go too into our setup, but that's usually the staging room. But let's go upstairs. We'll go up the front staircase and then we'll come down the back. So again, floor protection everywhere is a must here, especially for this style of rewire. This rewire is gonna get a little dirty. Tomorrow, before we begin, black plastic gets put on all this, okay? So this is a preliminary plastic. So if the black plastic fails, this is a secondary plastic. So it's a catch. It's a second protocol to make sure that the bed stays clean, the dressers stay clean. So right now we do a preliminary prep. Ram board's down. Ram board's been sitting down for about 48 hours. It gives it some time to lay flat. It kind of likes to pull up along the edges, so we kind of have to let it sit right here. So this is our preliminary plastic. When we put the black plastic down, we'll put the black plastic down to right here. That way no hardwood floors are exposed to this debris. So the plaster dust can be extremely nasty to hardwood floors. It likes to get into the grains, and unless you're going to be sanding your hardwood floors, you want to make sure your floor protection is very thorough. Okay, preparation for this job is an utmost. You can, if you have to go through a rewire and you're not preparing for the rewire correctly, you're going to destroy your home. So this room's prepped. So these all have, this has to get hit with plastic, this has to get hit with plastic, this will get hit with plastic. And then we have the lovely knob and tube. All right, there's our baseboard outlets. There's a baseboard outlet. So we removed the box altogether. The old boxes, you can't, it depends on the rewire, but with this rewire, we're not going to be able to save them. So this room has a lot of stuff in it. Again, we're going to plastic all this tomorrow. We'll probably do an underlayer of plastic on this because it's a rug, and then we'll do a heavy wall layer of plastic, like a 6 mil plastic on top of it. All right. So there's always something that we like to find on rewires. So this is a good one. Let's see if I can show it. Oh, they cut it, so I don't even get, there we go. So see this? This is the ground wire. And the ground wire was going to the cold water right there. And that's how they were grounding it out. The neutral wire is tapped into the knob and tube there, and the hot conductor is tapped in there. All right, and that is not an original splice, so someone was playing with the knob and tube throughout the years. So let's keep moving. If you look at videos from like 6 years ago, I'm putting on some weight, I'll tell you that much. I'm getting older. So we're prepping here. All right, bookshelves. Bookshelves we have to protect. You can't clean books. If it gets exposed to that plaster dust, you'll never get it out of them, okay? So this has to get pulled over a little bit here. All right, and then that'll have to get taped up against that wall. We're not cutting up here yet. We're cutting first floor. And we have extraction fans set up. Like, we have everything set up. We have the plaster extraction tubing set up for cutting. And we have the plaster extraction fan set up for just air quality. But again, if it's not ram boarded, all this hardwood floor has to get covered with black plastic. All right, especially with the amount of cutting we're going to be doing in here. Now, so this is kind of the crap you find with no box. That was controlled by, let's see if they kept it in. They removed it. So there's a switch here that ran to the knob and tube there, and they did a nasty splice in there. All right, so the back staircase. And we're in the kitchen. So even though the kitchen's been renovated, the air quality is still an issue. So the ram board is still going to go down just because of the traffic of the guys. All right. And we're protecting all the marble. So this is the marble. There's marble under here. Here's a sink. All right. So we protect all the marble. Our coffee station for the guys. And then we're back into our original staging area. All right. Oh, we have one little, all right, so we have a little closet bathroom down here that steps down. All right, and then there's a toilet wrapped around on the other side of that. So we're gonna start cutting today. We already got one of our channels done. And basically, we'll probably cut for the next 2 to 3 days. And then after we're done cutting, we'll start fishing. And, you know, hopefully this rewire doesn't take more than 3 weeks. If there's difficulties, yeah, it's gonna, especially with plaster patching. With the plaster patching, we're gonna need an additional 4 days. We're gonna need at least 1 day to do our brown coat. And then after our brown coat is done, we'll have to wait at least 2 more days before we put our top coat on, which will be our lime-based top coat, gauging plaster. But I don't even want to think about that right now because there's too much in between. Thank you for watching. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.